Islam.
Islam.
This is Grand Sheik, Divine Minister Roy Williams Bay,
And this is Sheikest Anna Brown Bay, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. We're bringing you the Sunday school lesson from the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 9, where our executive ruler, Tyrone, I'm trying to say it now, Tyrone Aham Razul Ali, is our executive leader. I have a problem saying our names yet, so y'all forgive me. Hey, Grand Chief Tyrone, you know who you're dealing with. All right, we're going to start out by saying our prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Islam.
Islam.
All right, today we're going to go into a much needed lesson. You should have your Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7. Now, before I actually begin, I would like to say that we don't believe in faith. We believe in science. Our whole organization of the Moor Americans or American Moors who are indigenous aboriginals to the Americas who have always owned this land. We believe in facts. We believe and teach facts. We teach science. We are the great teachers of the world on the earth plane. Now, having said that, a lot of you do not understand. Some of you do, and I'm not knocking y'all because that's not what I'm doing. The mission that we have here is to pull Moors together. What is our mission? Our mission is to uplift fallen humanity. Is that not correct?
Islam.
Now, what I want to do is I want you to go into your Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I want you to go to chapter 1, which is page 4, and we're going to go to page 5, the top of page 5, and we're going to teach this. Hopefully we get it done today, but I surely doubt it. And it reads as such. This is what happened to you, Moor. This is why, what I'm about to read to you, this is why we behave the way that we behave. And there's a whole lot to be taught in between. And let us read. And these soul attributes became a body beautiful. A multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul. And here he tarries many ages until his lessons are all learned. Upon the boundary of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slower, still, and then the essence took on a final garb. The perfumes of and odors and the true sensations and the all of love were clothed in flesh. And man was clothed in flesh. Perfected man must pass through all the ways of life. And so a carnal was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the plane of manifest, of protoplast, of mineral, of plant, of beast, but he gave up his birthrights just to gratify his lower self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, but he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptations manifold. But let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah, who rule the solar stars and his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. Man will be fully saved, redeemed, perfected by the things he suffers on the plane of flesh and on the plane of soul. When man has conquered carnal things, his garb of flesh will then have served its purpose well, and it will fall, will be no more.
Islam.
Islam. Now, if y'all don't understand what that means, that's all right. That's why I'm here. Now, I could take that and break it all the way down for you. We're going to do that another day. But today, I'm going to come short, sweet, and plain. I want you to understand this in elementary terms. And the
Islam.
topic of our lesson today is as above, so below.
Islam.
As above, right here, so below.
Islam.
You see, this lesson talks about how we were made spirit. We were made to vibrate on a higher frequency, excuse me, than we find ourselves right now. I want you to take for a metaphoric example. You're looking for a radio station on your radio, in your car or in your house. Now, if you want to fine tune it and you are having a problem, when you push that button to get that radio station, you turn that knob and you fine tuning it until it hones in on a certain station, which is called a frequency. It's a certain vibration. See my hands? They vibrating. It's a certain vibration. When you get on that right frequency with your radio, what happens? You get rewarded. What do you get rewarded with? Your favorite tunes. And you can dance and you can feel that. Hey, oh yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? Well, see, I am bringing to you that metaphor because it is that simple for us to do our own personal vibration. As above, so below. So a man thinketh, so is he.
Islam.
If you're operating on low frequency, and the Holy Quran tells us that those low frequencies, excuse me, are of the fallen man. The man, the part of us that fell in humanity, fallen humanity. You're operating as the devil, the dragon, the beast, Satan. All of these are operators of lower self. And lower self, they do evil.
Islam.
We are not evil. We perform evil. Don't let that other training that the Europeans brought to us and say that we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And that is not true. That's a lie.
Islam.
Ain't no good woman that birth a baby for 9 months or whatever was an evil person, because a woman that bring forth life is a goddess. She is the grand supreme being of this planet, of this earth plane.
Islam.
I didn't mean to say planet, earth plane. Now, without that woman being able to make the connection between the spirit world and this carnal earth plane, nobody comes here. That has to happen.
Islam.
And she is not a woman that's full of sin. Because let me tell you something. If you are that bad off, the way that the Bible tells us we are sinners and we are shaped in iniquity, would nobody be coming through that gate?
Islam.
What was the sin was not us individually. The sin was us as a civilization. The fall of man was because of what we did.
Islam.
And that lesson's going to be at another date. And that fall that we did happened back in Atlantis. And that's when we fell into our lower selves and we started dabbling into these idiosyncrasies of mind to say, oh, well, we were vibrating at a higher frequency. We were pure and we were energy and we were doing things. And now we want to experience this. You mean to tell me that we want to experience these nasty things? Attitude?
No way.
Nasty? Jealousy? Envy? Stealing from one another? Lying to one another? I am better than you. You are lower than me. I'm higher than you. I know more than you. You ain't nothing. Y'all know how we roll.
Islam.
We always pointing the finger, but forget these here three pointing right back at you. So that ain't even doing no good, you pointing. What we got to do is we got to realize that we put ourselves as a race of people in the position that we find ourselves.
Islam.
This ain't nothing that the white man did. This ain't nothing the Albion did, the European did. We did it to ourselves.
Islam.
So let's stop blaming what they did to us and face the truth. It was our fault. So now let's deal with us on the level of honesty. Now there are 5 principles that Noble Drew Ali gave us through Allah. And that is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Islam.
He gave us those 5 principles to live by so that we can begin to learn how to lift up ourselves from fallen humanity and raise our vibration. Raising your vibration, learning to live and think on a higher frequency, has got nothing to do with your appointment. Oh, I'm a grand sheik. Ooh, I got an appointment. I'm somebody. Man, you ain't nobody. I'm a grand sheikess. Oh, I'm executive ruler. Oh, I'm the divine minister. You ain't nothing
Islam.
until you learn how to love yourself. When you learn to love yourself, which is the first principle that Noble Drew Ali gave us,
Islam.
then you can love your other Moors. But the reason why we're not loving our other Moors is because first we got a problem with ourselves.
Islam.
And since we got a problem with ourselves, we live in lower self. Lower self is when you think about all the things that are bad. Those things that the Europeans told us were sins, that's your lower self. That hate, that envy, that strife,
Islam.
you got to be jealous of somebody because they teach better than you. They preach better than you. They know more than you. They got a different level of intelligence. They can recite the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you can't. They can go in there and they got a photographic memory, but you don't know that, and you jealous of them because they can just pull the information out. Each one of us has a gift. Each one of us has a talent. If we hone in first on ourselves, loving ourselves, then we can love each other, and then we can hone in on the talents that we have.
Islam.
Everybody can't do everything. If any of you have worked in the factory, you know what they do. They bring in the people and they test them on different stations to see what they good at. Everybody not good at everything. If you got a person that don't have no kind of mechanical abilities, and you're going to put them on a machine that's running with precise measurements, and they should be packing, you're going to have a disaster on your hands. Meaning, learn your lane and stay in your lane.
Wow.
It's okay. If you push the broom, be the best broom pusher that there ever was on the earth plane.
It's wow.
It's okay to be the best broom pusher. Push that thing, man. You know, I watched the janitor when I was a kid. I was in the elementary school, and his name was Mr. Valeri, an Italian guy. He used to throw the stuff out on the floor, and then he would push this broom. Now he didn't push the broom like this. He had this special way. He would say boom, 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 like that. He would get every little crumb of dirt because he was a professional at the task of cleaning them halls with that thing he was using. And that's what we got to learn. We got to learn to become proficient in whatever craft that we can do. Now, some of us can do a lot of things, and that you got more burden on you because you got more work to do. You got to be proficient in all of them. But those that have one, handle that one you got.
It's
You ain't got to worry about nobody else. Do you? And this hate that we have toward one another, we got to pull ourselves up. There ain't no need for all this hate. What is you hating? Who is you
wow.
hating? Who? When you really look at it, if and I just said this, if you got the authority within yourself to point a finger at somebody, you remember there's three pointing back at you, and you don't have that authority to point a finger at another more.
It's wow.
That's keeping us down. We all supposed to be lifting each other up. And that's what you better be finding yourself doing.
It's wow.
Allah did not intend for us to be in this lower state. We did that. We fell in this lower state on our own. Let me go to this a little bit. A lot of you don't know. No, I'm not even going to go there. Forget that. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to go there because that goes into a whole different thing. Whole weeks and weeks and weeks of lessons. But let's hold it right to where we got it. Work on yourself.
It's wow.
When you know you done something wrong, work on yourself. When you know you done said something that ain't right, work on yourself. Keep in mind the 5 principles that our prophet, our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, told us to do. Keep love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Keep them in your forefront of your mind, and you
Yes,
live with that. Now, if you're not in agreement with another Moor, the Holy Quran tells us that we are to pray for that Moor, and there's a special prayer to learn to pray for that Moor, that he would come into proper standing. And another thing I want to tell you, remind you all, when you did your name change to appellation, that's how you say that word, appellation, you became royalty. You were already that. But you let the world know. You put your fez on, okay? And you put your turban on, and you let the people know around you that I am a Moor. And you don't say that you're a Moorish American. I'm a Moor American, or you can say I'm an American Moor. When you go to do business, I'm here to do business as a Moor American, not a Moorish American. I got to remind you that every Sunday. But let us work on ourselves because we sure enough need it. As above, so below. Got to learn to change our vibrations, change our frequency, hone in on the better you. and stop looking at everybody else and what they doing. If you look at another Moor and you say, boy, they sure messing that up. Well, ask yourself a question. What can I do to make it better for that Moor? Is there something can I reach out to that Moor? Can I educate them? Is there a path that I can get to them and let them know that what they did is wrong? Or this should be done this way, that should be done that way? Don't be so condescending. We quick to condescend. Why? Because Lord self tell you to condescend. Somebody makes you feel good.
It's long.
That's living in your lower self. To allow yourself to let the spirit of jealousy run in you is enjoying the feeling of jealousy. I like you don't just sit there and say I like to be jealous, but you're enjoying it because you're allowing the frequency and the vibration of lower self to rule your house.
It's long.
They got a new car. I wish I had one. Well, you can have one. Fix your vibration. You can have anything you want. Us Moors own everything, so you can have anything you want. Stop bickering and fussing and fighting with yourself. Learn to love yourself, and then you can love everybody else, and everything else will fall in place. If you live on those 5 principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, everything else will work itself out. Ain't no problem with none of that. Um, what else I wanted to say this morning? Well, you know what? I think I said enough. As above, so below. So a man thinketh, so is he. Keep that in mind. If you're thinking low thoughts, if your mind is processing on a low vibration, a low frequency, you're getting a radio signal that you're not enjoying the music. You know, some of the signals, they do a lot of talking and they whatever you call it, you know, they ain't got no music. It ain't enjoyable. That's you. That's you. When you go around everybody and you operating in that low frequency, ain't nobody want to even be bothered with you because your radio station is putting out signals that don't nobody even want to hear. And you wonder why they don't like me. Why I got so many problems with everybody. It's you. You the one operating on a low frequency. Your vibration ain't right. But you can fix that. Take this Holy Quran, practice it, read it, learn it, and live it. When you do, your whole life is going to change. Remember, we are more Americans. We're American Moors. We are royalty. And you need to start behaving as who you are. Royal people are not supposed to do what I've been seeing us Moors do. Extend that hand of love, of kindness, and let's work together to help fallen humanity return to its proper status. Islam. We're going to say our prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Take care.